Go.
All right, I anchored at the wrist, and you're not gonna fight your bandage. You're just gonna go where it wants to go. It wanted to go to the thumb, so I'm doing the thumb. You're making sure you have 50% overlap. These blue ones are great for that. So.
Now what if you have a white one that disintegrates in your hand?
Sucks. So I am in control of my bandage.
And you want the fingers to be splayed out, right?
As much as they can be. So go up. Half the fingernail exposed. Coming down. Once you start getting down here, you want to make sure you're flossing instead of pulling it through, because you'll get points off if you pull it through and you hurt your patient.
I'm just gonna verbalize that I wouldn't do that.
And I'm going around one more time just to make sure. Stop so I don't pull you into extension. And we're going up here. Actually, we're not, because I don't have enough bandage.
I have some in my bag.
And it's good because this is your stuff. Where? There we are. Okie doke. So I'm sure you guys all heard Dr. Hetrick say you're gonna match your tails. It doesn't mean you keep going. What it means is corner to corner. Okay? So matching the tails, corner to corner. So I'm gonna do one. And you're not applying a ton of stretch here.
Now, do you floss it twice a day?
You're hilarious.
Or once a day?
Compression bandages are worn for 24 hours a day during the intensive phase.
You only take it off for bathing.
Correct. It does not matter what order you do these in. Ah!
Don't do that either.
I'm in control.
Game over.
I'm in control. Fight me, Brian. All right. Okay. So.
The back of my hand is the joystick. Do me to do like this?
Alrighty. Coming down. Coming back up. Getting that last finger.
So you skip over that finger and do the pinky first? Is it just easier that way?
It was just wherever the bandage wanted to go. That's why I chose to do the pinky first, because the bandage wanted to go there.
I just feel like when I do it, like the bandage doesn't really know where it's going. It just...
Well, then you got to kind of direct it a little bit. All right, I'm almost out. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and end there. I would tape that in real life,
The
but
video I just uploaded looks like it was recorded with a potato.
do you have any more in here?
Is that where I only had two.
Okay, I have another one. Because I want to show you guys how to do the ribbon. So I'm gonna match my tails. Anchor. I'm gonna start doing my web spaces, so I'm gonna go ahead and start over here and do breast cancer ribbon. Come back down. Haha. I'm in control. Here, I don't want to pull you into extension though. Okay, so that's the end of that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tuck.
Now, this is the
So-
practical. You would say that
I want you to squeeze your hand. So, yeah, so for the practical, this is my only problem area. Everything else has really good coverage. I might say that I want to make sure that he's not being pulled into extension. Palm is nice and open.
It's like a
would you do cap refill?
Yeah. Yeah, thanks. So cap refill's fine. Do it on all 5 fingers. If
what's
you
the normal
can't,
cap refill?
less than 2 seconds. Come on, guys.
It's actually 2 to 3.
Actually, I'll fight you, and it really depends on the source you're using.
Okay, relax.
Okay, stockinette. This is enormous. Is this your thigh?
What?
Is this for your thigh? No? It
Yeah.
just stretched out for your hand because you're huge. Wait, do you not have a piece for your arm?
No.
Why?
Oh no.
Okay, that's fine. We'll make do. Make it work. Give me your hand.
So how are you explaining this to the patient? What's the can you just tell me how you would explain this thing to the patient?
This is way too big.
It's fine. Just deal with it.
I'm dealing with you, Corey. I'm dealing with you.
Okay, explain it to me. What did you
So,
do? Why-
okay, I put the stockinette on top of the containment in order to make sure everything is kind of uniform for when I put the bandages on, and to prevent the bandages or anything from irritating the skin. So this
Oh,
is to sit on top of the skin.
Okay.
So now I have my Salona. And I'm gonna go ahead and anchor here.
Salona?
Yeah. So there's no thumb hole in this, so I'm just gonna go around the hand real quick. And I'm just gonna pull this down, pretend there's a thumb hole there. %ish overlap. This doesn't have to be quite as precise, but it's nice. All right, I'm at the elbow. So in this cubital fossa, you're gonna fan. So all that means is you're gonna go over it a couple times. So fan back and forth.
Just like you would do at the back of the knee. For the
Yeah, same thing as the back of the knee for the lower. And if you run out, a little bit more Salona. You don't need to match the tails for this, but you can if you really want to. So I'm just gonna do a little bit here. Anchor. And just go all the way up to the axilla. Okay. So I'm just gonna roll this back down because they don't want us to cut it. In the clinic, I would cut it. All right, and you want to make sure this is as smooth as possible. I'm just doing it kind of fast to show you guys. Okay, just put your hand down. You're gonna start off with your smallest bandage. What you guys have is a 6 centimeter. It says 2.3 on here, but let's be honest, we're going by centimeters. Okie dokie. I'm gonna anchor. I choose to have this side up just because it rolls easier when I put stuff on. 2, yeah, okay. So I'm gonna anchor at the wrist with 100% compression. And we're going to go up through here with 100% stretch. So I'm going to fold it over just because it's a little bit big for that hand. And then I'm gonna keep going with my 100%. I don't want you to get stuck in extension. I come back down. I wanna see where I am. Yeah, I'm gonna anchor here. Come back up with my 100%. I'm gonna fold over on the top. And you're gonna do one more on the hand. Fold over at the bottom. Now your hand's pretty much done.
Can't control my hands right now.
So Corey, how are you feeling?
I'm fine.
Okay. Not that I care.
Oh.
Hang on a second. I want to make sure that's not bunched.
I'm just losing feeling in my like
Are you?
fingers. No, I'm not.
Your cap refill's fine, so I don't give a fuck. All right, now you're gonna just work up the hand. You're still at 100% compression. 50% overlap. You can do a little bit more if you're more comfortable with that. You're just gonna use more bandage. All right, so I'm about halfway up the arm. So I'm gonna convert to about 70% stretch. All right, and that ended here. I would use paper tape. I wouldn't use these, but I don't have any paper tape because somebody jacked mine. All right, next you're gonna use your 8 centimeter. We have a 6, an 8, and a 10. So again, match your tails, corner to corner. So I stopped at 70% compression, so I'm gonna be putting on 70% compression. You wanna make sure your corners are covered because patients will tug on them. All right, so I'm at my elbow. So I'm gonna do that figure 8. So I'm going back over the elbow, over the olecranon, above the elbow, back down over the olecranon, under the elbow, over the olecranon, above, and
Oh, that's good.
over. Oh, actually, you know what? I forgot to have you punch into me. So I'm gonna redo this. But at least that way you guys got to see that. Okay. So I would redo that in the practical too because you can get points off for that. So punch into me with a little bit of bend in your elbow. Perfect, right there. All right, so again, match my tails.
I think I'm your PT, but I think I'm Brian's patient. Oh, okay, but I think spots 1 and 2. I'll do that.
Again, 70% compression. Okay. And now I'm gonna do that again, the figure of 8. So over the olecranon, up above, back down over the olecranon, down below. Do it twice. So I'm gonna go over the olecranon, up above the antecubital fossa, back down over the olecranon, and below the antecubital fossa. And now I'm just gonna go up. 50% compression, or 50% overlap, 70% compression. All right, and now I'm about to run out of this.
It's fine. We can just verbalize what we do at the end.
And now I'm gonna finish up.
All right.
Again, taper tape. Missing one, so I'll grab mine.
And 15 minutes.
I'm not done yet. All right. Now you're gonna use your 10 centimeter. Match tails. So now I'm at my 40%. Here, I'm gonna have you punch into me just because that way it's easier for me. So, whoop. Anchor. And 40% compression. 40% stretch. It's gonna come up here. We're gonna come all the way up. I can do my nice little finish, but it doesn't really matter. And now we're gonna go all the way back down. With no compression, this is just to make sure that you can finish off nicely, because you can't cut these or they won't work anymore. So I would tape the living crap out of this, because I hate these mother-in-law clips. All right, okay, so the next thing I would do is check capillary refill. Cap refill's good, it's nice and brisk. Corey, I want you to move your arm, I want you to move your wrist around, I want you to see if you can feed yourself. Move your hand, to wiggle your fingers.
Yep.
I know the wrist has a lot on it, so it's probably hard to move the wrist, so you don't have full range of that. As far as this goes, I could make this a little bit nicer, a little bit neater, but there wasn't a thumb hole, so it was a lot harder for me.
It's smooth. That's
Yeah, I
what
could
I'm
smooth it out a little bit, but I don't have any holes in my elbow, I don't have any holes up here, I don't have any holes, which is awesome.
Yeah, really good.
All right, that's it.